A very good morning and welcome to this second module in strategic brand management. This will be a session where I'll be introducing brand aspects to y'all. In the first module, we had seen about products, and I will post a question bank for y'all so that you can work on it for your for your examination point of view. And we will start off with brand from the second module. What is a brand? There are about 11 different terminologies I will introduce you all to today. Each of these terminologies are important. They are very closely associated with one another, and this will help you all to understand the subject very clearly. You need not know by heart the definitions, but when a particular nomenclature is dropped, you should clearly know the what it stands for. Only then you will be able to understand the subject. The first term I'm going to introduce y'all is brand. What is brand? Brand is a name, a term, a sign, a symbol, a color, a tune that you will recollect when you hear a particular name. Clear? It is an identity for a particular product. Now I will go into explaining. You will understand it very clearly. Let us take this product called Cadbury's. The moment I say Cadbury's, what is it that comes to your mind frame? You think of a purple color and you think of two glasses of milk in half tilting position. So that is a color, a symbol, a term, anything that you recollect when you think of Cadbury's. So it is a mental picture of identity. Clear? Another example. What is it that you think when you hear the word McDonald? You think of a golden arch, a yellow color M, which is the logo for McDonald. What do you think of when you hear the word Britannia? You recollecting ting ting ting. So that is your recollection, your brand. So again, now you revisit the definition. It is a name, a term, a sign, a symbol, a color that will help you to recollect a particular product. Okay, right. So the next terminology you will be visiting is brand positioning. What is brand positioning? Positioning is a conceptual place for a brand that the company wants its target audience to hold. Okay, now I will give examples, then you will understand what it is. When you hear the word Lifebuoy or Dettol, what is it that what immediately do you think of? You think of soaps and you think of germs, killing germs. No other soap kills germs, only Lifebuoy and Dettol kills. That is the positioning, or that is what the company has wanted to position itself as to its target audience. Clear? So they have spent a lot of time and energy, and that is why you recollect it like that. Clear? What is it that you remember when I say Lux? You would recollect beauty soap, Bollywood actress. This is what they have been positioning themselves as from the 60s. Meena Kumari, Sridevi, right from then they had positioned and they have not changed their positioning. Clear? Next we will get to another set of soap. Hamam, Rexona and Medimix. So what do you think of when what is the positioning, or what is it that you recollect when you think of these brands? You could recollect soaps made of natural ingredients. That is the positioning that they had want you all to uh, associate the brand with, right? The next one is Dove. So you will realize that the Dove is always, it positions itself as a soap with moisturizer. It makes your skin supple, right? So these are positioning aspects, positioning, brand positioning. Okay, right. In this positioning, there are two aspects: point of parity and point of difference. Point of parity means all those brands that are very closely connected to one another. For example, Hamam, Rexona, Medimix, all of them are in the platform of natural ingredients. Whereas you see Lifebuoy and Dettol, point of parity, it's too close to one another in the positioning map. Whereas Dove and Lifebuoy is very far away from one another. Clear? So point of parity, why do you need point of parity and point of differences? When you know the point of parity, there are too many products of the same nature, then you would realize that the competition is very high. You would want to go away to a particular aspect or particular positioning where there are not many products. Clear? Right. So brand positioning is a conceptual place of a brand in the mind of its target audience. Correct? Okay. So the next one is core brand association. What do you associate the brand with? Okay. Brand association. Brand positioning is what the companies advertise as their USP. Brand association is what it's consumer point of view, what consumer would want to associate the brand with. So if you say Vico Vajradanti, okay, it is Haldi and Chandan. So what's the difference between positioning and brand association? Positioning is from the point of view of the company. Association is what the consumers in turn associate with, whether they are associating with the same elements or different elements. Okay, so McDonald, the company can will say so many things, but the audience normally remember the yellow M, or they understand it as quick food. Okay, then Good Day biscuits. Good Day biscuits. So what is the association? The association is with cashew nuts, with butter, with a smile. These are the associations with for Good Day. Mysore sandalwood soap, the sandalwood oil present in the thing. So association is the various elements with which the consumers associate the product with, apart from the branding, apart from the color. That is the entry level. Beyond that, as usage of product, what do they associate the product with? Next is the next nomenclature is brand mantra. Students generally know this brand mantra as tagline, as slogan, right? So you all play in the inter-college competitions. I have seen they give a logo of a brand, and then you'll have to say what is the tagline, or what is the mantra, what is the slogan, or they give a slogan and you will have to find out the brand. So let us do some exercise on this. Okay, brand mantra. Okay, so how do you, what is brand mantra? It is 2 to 5 or 7 words, 2 to 7 words, which actually encapsulates, which describes, which exactly says what the brand stands for. Clear? So when you take Nike, it is just do it. It's top of the mind. Everybody knows the tagline. Okay? The brand mantra. And BMW is ultimate driving machine. Adidas, impossible is nothing. McDonald, I'm loving it. HSBC Bank. HSBC Bank is an international bank, but it has always positioned itself as a local bank. So their tagline is World's Local Bank. World's Local Bank. And another very popular brand mantra is Diamond is forever. Yes. So whose thing is it? It's De Beer. De Beer is diamonds. So this it's like gold association, right? So De Beers, their tagline is diamonds are forever, right? So the next, clear so far? So there, that's see all these words: brand mantra, brand association, brand positioning. They might be confusing, but once you understand them, as and when I start taking the class, you won't get confused. Clear? So these nomenclatures are very important, and you have to know the keywords with which you understand it. The next one is brand element. What is brand element? The brand element is the name, URL, website, logo and symbol, slogan, color, all the tangible elements that are used to express, represent, identify, differentiate the brand. Clear? Once again, I will repeat. Brand elements. What are all the brand elements? Brand elements are all the tangible aspects that are used to express, represent, identify the particular brand and differentiate it from its competitors. So what are the various things? A brand name or URL, logo, symbol, slogan, color, tune, and then endorser. Anything will be a brand element. So brand and brand element are very close to one another. Okay, brand is just a description, brand elements goes a little deeper. Okay, right. So the next one, next to nomenclature, you will have to get familiar with is brand audits. What is brand audit? What is an audit? Audit is your the exercise that you do to find out where you currently stand. So brand audit is also something which is very similar. It is an analysis that shows how your brand is currently doing, okay, and vis-a-vis your competitors. Brand audit, or vis-a-vis your objectives that you have set for the brand at the beginning of the year. I'll repeat once again. Brand audit is the analysis that shows how your brand is currently performing. Okay, how you would do it is like an auditing procedure. Each company has a slightly different way of doing its audit, but the general aim is the same. Okay, so is to give the profit and loss of the company. Similarly, here it is brand audit shows you the current position of the brand vis-a-vis your own objectives set. Next is brand tracking. Okay, brand tracking is the continuous measuring of the health of the brand. Now, what is the difference between audit and tracking? Audit can be done internal or external, and tracking it is just like it also involves the marketing efforts used by the company. Okay, and its efforts on brand building. Like audits is more from the internal aspects of the company. It is like taking a frozen environment and finding out the brand position. Whereas tracking is a methodology, a process put in place to do what? to continuously measure the health of the brand, okay, vis-a-vis the competitors. For example, if there are five different soaps, where does your brand stand? Okay, so on a monthly basis or on a quarterly basis, they will say brand position. You are number one, you are number three, like that. Even in your channels, you have Sony ZTV, it's number one for this thing. So that is continuous way in which they track their position. So that is brand tracking. The next nomenclature you will know is brand equity. Brand equity is a robust overall, it's all compassing concept. So what is it? Brand equity is a commercial value that is derived from various aspects of a brand. It is a commercial value that is derived considering various aspects of the brand. Like what? Brand awareness, brand image, brand identity, brand loyalty, brand association. All these aspects they take, and then they say your brand equity is so and so. Now, this brand equity is a very interesting concept, very interesting concept. If you look at the balance sheet of companies, you have brand equity to the tune of, like they say, brand equity of Coca-Cola is some $300 billion. Okay, so please understand, this is not the cost of, this is not the value of their bottling plant or their fixed assets or their land, building, their nothing. It is just an intangible aspect. Okay, so brand equity, it's a very, very interesting concept. Brand equity, actually, brand equity is a concept from which they actually gave in an tangible value to an intangible concept. Otherwise, it is just a brand name, it's intangible. But they actually measured it and gave a value. Value in money worth is tangible. So if you are selling the company, $300 billion will go only for the brand equity, and then the fixed assets and all the other aspects. Clear about it? So brand equity again is a commercial value that is derived from various aspects of a brand, like brand measuring brand awareness, brand image, brand identity, brand loyalty. And there are many companies which does it. When we are actually doing this exercise, we will go to it called Interbrand, the first company which started doing brand equity. So we'll go to that website of Interbrand and see how they actually, what is the methodology that they follow to assess brand equity, right? Okay, so the next nomenclature is brand architecture. Brand architecture is planned with, it's planned within the organization. What is planned within the organization? It gives a very clear picture of how the sub-brands, the brand extensions relate to one another. Clear? If you take Colgate, then you have Colgate Salt, Colgate Charcoal, Colgate Sensitive Pep, then you have Colgate CalciGuard. There are this many number of extensions. So this brand architecture will give the clear picture of how the sub brands are related to one another, what kind of equation that they have. Okay, so because otherwise they will be eating into one's own share. Instead of Colgate fighting with Pepsodent, Colgate will be fighting within itself. They will be eating their own share. Clear? So This is the concept of brand architecture. It is a structured planning within the organization, and it gives a clear picture of how the sub-brands relate to one another. The last concept that we are going to see is brand reinforcement. Brand reinforcement is the continuous activity associated in terms of keeping a brand relevant, keeping a brand to stay, to be there. Okay. What do they do? Just think now how many brands we remember which we don't even use. BPL, Nokia, we it's not there, but we remember it. So reinforcement, brand reinforcement is ensuring that this brand doesn't become old, doesn't become a dog. Okay, so what do you do for that? Lifebuoy, if you look, it's almost 100-year-old brand. Like that, there are many products which what they do is they keep bringing in more line extensions. They spend a lot of money in R&D. They relaunch the product. They refresh it all the time. They add new ingredients and they redesign the product. They bring in new features. They energize the product. Okay, so this is to do with brand reinforcement, to see that the brand is alive and kicking. If you don't give its importance, it will soon die and go. Clear? So these are the terminologies that you will need to clearly know, because they are very closely connected to one another. If you have confusions, you will not be able to understand when explanations are going on. Okay, so let us relook at all the things: brand reinforcement, brand architecture, brand equity, then you have brand tracking, brand elements, brand association, brand positioning, and brand. Okay, so get familiar, keep hearing it 2-3 times, and we will actually start with what is the difference between a product and brand from tomorrow. Okay, in the meantime, I have uploaded the question bank for the first module. Please ensure that you um, get it from the website, and then you start working on it. Thank you very much and all the best.